Good morning, my bookish friends. It has been a long time since I've popped on here to vlog. I had my show last week, and then at the beginning of this week, I was dealing with some post-show blues, which is totally normal when you come off like the end of a high of anything, but like when you come off running a show and then like you're getting back into real life is just a little bit heartbreaking. And then I still am dealing with it. I have a sty. It hasn't even come to a head yet on my eye. The last 2 days it was so swollen and irritated that I tried to get on camera and vlog, and I just wasn't happy with any of the clips. I wasn't happy with how I looked. I couldn't really put makeup on. So we're gonna start the vlog today. Let me talk about what I'm reading. So the book that y'all are gonna get a lot of my thoughts on this week is In the Weeds by B.K. Borison. This is the sequel to Love Light Farms. I am like 80 pages into it, and so far I have all of the warm, happy feelings reading this book, just like I did with Love Light Farms. This one, it takes place in the spring, and we are following Beckett, who is kind of the grumpy, introverted caretaker of the farm, and we are following Evelyn, who we met in the first book, who is this social media influencer that is really trying to promote small businesses. They had a one-night stand a long time ago. We saw their initial reintroduction to each other in Love Light Farms, and now they're getting a second chance with each other. And like I said, I'm just kicking my feet and smiling reading this book. It makes me feel so happy. I'll talk a little bit more about this in a second, but about 80 pages into this one. And then you guys aren't really gonna get my thoughts on this book because it is for a Patreon exclusive vlog, since this is one of our books that we're reading together. But I am reading City of Brass, and I'm also about 80 pages into this book. You're probably just gonna get more of like an overall vibe feeling from this book instead of like me talking about what's going on in the book, because I'm giving all of my spoilery thoughts over there. But I'll tell you how far I get into the book and that kind of thing. And honestly, I'm just kind of going back and forth between these two books. Whenever I'm in the mood for fantasy, I'm picking this one up. Whenever I'm in the mood for romance, I'm picking this one up. And as you can see, I'm pretty much the exact same amount of pages into both of them. So it's been a pretty even split. I am just drinking my little iced coffee I made for myself this morning, and I'm about to go meet a friend at Kroger because she said she has something for me, and I have an idea of what that thing is, but I also might be wrong, so I need to get out of the shirt that I slept in so I can go meet her. Guys, that was literally the most like wholesome, positive interaction I have had in such a long time. So backstory, last week Gabrielle Zevin was in town doing an event with like Mississippi Book Festival and one of our local colleges teamed up to have her here. It was Friday night last week, which means I couldn't go because I was doing a performance, and I was so sad because everybody was going to get the opportunity to meet her and get a signed copy of the paperback that she just released. And I conned my best friend into taking my copy, which I like tabbed up and highlighted, and I conned him into taking this and getting it signed for me. So I have a signed copy, like personalized to Heather, hello stranger, Gabrielle Zevin. She signed it. This book means so much to me. I read it, like I tabbed it up. It was just, I know this book wasn't for everybody, but it was definitely for me. I loved it so much. I was constantly seeing people in my area on Bookstagram who were going, and I would message them, be like, I hope you have the time of your life. I'm so sad that I'm gonna miss it. And one of my in real life friends, like I don't know her super well, but we used to be in like a running group together, and we got our hair done by the same person. Clearly I need to get my hair done by somebody, but anyway, that's beside the point. She contacted me on Instagram this weekend and was like, hey, do you have a time we can meet up next week because I have something for you? And my brain instantly went to, oh, she's gonna give me her signed copy of the book. And it's like, oh my gosh, I hope she doesn't like give away what she got signed. Not the case. Okay, so we met up today and she gave me this big bag of stuff. Clearly there's more than one thing inside. So first of all, she said that when I talked about tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow, that is what influenced her to read the book. So she actually got her copy signed and gave me the paperback copy that was given to everybody that bought a ticket. It is signed, and I'm so torn about what to do with this book because, like, clearly I already have a signed personalized copy. But this one is also special because it's the paperback edition, and it's like somebody thought of me enough to give it to me, but she also said, you know, do with it what you want to. If you want to do a giveaway, you can do a giveaway. So like I'm kind of leaning towards that because I don't just want to hoard all of these special signed copies. And then she did a book club box with Once Upon a Book Club and said she just kind of wanted to spread some bookish joy. She did not love this book, but I have loved other Simone St. James books. So this is the Book of Cold Cases. I've read 2 of her books. I haven't read this one. And the cool thing about this one is it's got like media like all throughout it that goes along with the book, like pictures and QR codes for like sounds and stuff. It's got a book plate as well. So maybe I'll read this during spooky season because I know she always throws some paranormal into her books. So that was also super sweet. And then at the Gabrielle Zevin event, people were doing friendship bracelets. So she got me a friendship bracelet. Look how perfectly it goes with the book, by the way. Like, so sweet. So it says Ichigo, which if you've read the book, you know that's the name of the main character in the video game. And just like, I want to cry, but I can't cry because this is going to flare up more if I cry. Thank you, Anna. You know who you are. Thank you so much. I made some creamy, spicy TikTok ramen for lunch. It probably doesn't look like the most appetizing thing, but it is so yummy, and I'm just going to enjoy this, do a couple things for Patreon, and then get to reading. It's about to storm so hard, so I'm gonna go plug my phone in case the power goes out. Please don't let that happen. We know what happened last time my power went out, but it's like about to storm. I thought I would go ahead and hop on here and give you a reading update before I have sprints tonight. I also threw some chicken in the Instant Pot slow cooker, so hopefully I'll have some barbecue chicken tonight. But this is the only book I've read so far today, and I've read about 40 pages of it so far, and I am really loving this book. I loved Love Light Farms too, so it's not really surprising to me. I think B.K. Borison does a good job of balancing out characters and a love story at the same time, because what I do not like in a romance book is when the whole book is about the love story. And instead we have 2 characters who very much have their own things going on, but also have a love story. And the tension between the 2 characters is just spot on. So we have Evelyn, who is a social media influencer who kind of travels around spotlighting companies and getting them noticed on social media. I kind of like to think of it as like if Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives had a female host and was present on social media and expanded to more than just restaurants. So she does that, and she did that for Love Light Farms, but now she's just kind of back in town because she feels very stuck in life. She doesn't know what makes her happy anymore, and so she's taking a little social media break, and she goes back to the place that last made her happy, which was Love Light Farms. The problem is nowhere in town has anywhere for her to stay, and so Beckett happens to be in town, and he hears her trying to find a place to stay, and he's like, I've got an extra bedroom in my really big house. This could be a really good thing. This could be a really bad thing. Because remember, they had a little bit of a one-night stand and things are very awkward and tense between them. But oh my gosh, the tension is so good right now. We're like 130 pages into the book, and you can just see them slowly looking at each other as more than just a one-time thing, and B, somebody that you have to keep space between. So they're slowly like closing in on each other, but they're learning more about each other and what makes themselves tick. And then Beckett, we're just getting this like very good look at his character, because he is apparently, you know, like this very good looking guy, but also he is very sensitive, very introverted. He has some sensory processing issues, which I identify with a lot. There's a lot of sections in here about how he struggles whenever there's noise or too many people in a room. And I'm just like, yes, I need to read about more people like this, because I need to know that those people exist like me. So I'm just having a really good time, and we're getting a lot of scenes of them just like doing stuff on the farm or enjoying coffee on the porch. But like I said, they both also have their own things going on. Evelyn with her kind of quest for happiness and self-discovery, and Beckett's got some family things going on, and he's also like trying to get stuff ready for spring on the farm, and I love it. I love that he has cats. There's not anything about this book that I have to complain about right now, so that's good. There hasn't been any like spice, but I also, well, I can't say that because we do get like a flashback to their hotel room scene. So there has already been spice. I know B.K. Borison does write spice into her books, but even without there being an open door scene at the moment, our characters' thoughts do frequently travel to spicier realms, if you will. So if you are somebody that doesn't want to read that, this might not be the book or the series for you, but oh man, I'm having a really good time. Guys, first of all, I'm wearing my tortoiseshell pair eyewear. Not sponsored, I just really like my glasses. But I'm here with the best kind of reading update because I read like 60% of this book yesterday. I know that I didn't really update y'all much while I was reading it, but that was because I was reading it. I was like in it. And I gave this book 5 stars. I'm just like having the best time with romance books right now. And this doesn't always happen to me. I go months without wanting to pick up a romance book, but right now they're hitting, I'm picking up the right ones, and this one was the right one. There were so many things I loved about this book. It was simple. It wasn't like this overtly complex plot, and I love that because people don't always live like these super fascinating, event-filled lives. This one was simple and quiet, and I loved that about it. Beckett particularly was a character that I found extremely relatable. He is a quiet, grumpy person upon first glance, but that's honestly because he does not want to add noise to the world. And ooh, I feel that so big in my heart. Y'all know that like I am a fighter for the quiet people. I am an advocate for the people who get talked over and who are unable to face like the noisy world head on, and that is Beckett. He loves his simple life on the farm, taking care of his adopted cats. There is a duck in this book, that whole situation is just precious. And Evelyn, obviously as this like super famous influencer, lives kind of an opposite life. She might not have like the loudness bustling into her life from actual people, but through comments, through emails, through brand deals, she's constantly dealing with people. And so these two kind of are on opposite ends of that spectrum, but they definitely find common ground. And I love seeing Evelyn understanding his need to back away from the noise. And there were several opportunities in this book for her to do that. This book was, my review was so silly, but like it was honestly how I felt. I said, this book is earplugs when the world is too noisy for you. This book is shortbread that melts in your mouth. It is wholesome conversations with a lot of spice. I would give it like a 3 out of 5 on the spice level. But it was still so sweet and so charming. This book was watching stars in a field. This book was laying in a flower meadow. I cannot wait to read Mixed Signals, and then Business Casual just came out like 2 days ago. So I need to catch up on that so that I can be all ready for her new series, First Time Caller. Oh my gosh, I cannot rave enough about B.K. Borison. Best time ever. So did I pick up City of Brass at all yesterday? I didn't. I'm still only 80 pages into this one, so over the course of the weekend we'll definitely get some more chapters read in here. But I also think I need to pick up another shorter book, so I think I'm going to pick up Nestlings because I did not read that during Summerween, and that is like a required book for me this month. So it's relatively short, and that will probably be the next one that I start to get some like chapters in. Guys, I just woke up from a nap, first of all, but I think I'm gonna go walk around the new Barnes & Noble. I haven't been yet, and if they have Love Light 3, I think I'm gonna pick that up. I don't know if I'll pick up anything else. I probably shouldn't pick up anything else, but if they have Love Light 3, I'm so invested in that world right now. Like I haven't stopped thinking about it. all day today. So let's go to the new Barnes & Noble. And when I say new, it's Friday. They open Wednesday. It's new. This is documentation of how long it's going to take me to get there. It's 3:32. 3:41. Less than 10 minutes to get to Barnes & Noble. It used to take me 45 minutes to get to the closest Barnes & Noble. And this was with hitting every red light and left turn. So it could be shorter. I'm a happy girl right now. Little car haul time. I did get the sequel, the third book in the Love Light series, which is Mixed Signals. Let me show you what all I got. We got Mixed Signals, number 3, Love Light. I did look to see if they had business casual, and they did not have business casual yet, but I'll be back. I have seen this book all over Bookstagram, Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young. That cover though, so cute. And my friend Brittany, who used to be here on YouTube, Books with Brittany, she's still on Instagram, and she's still giving her recommendations on Instagram. So go follow her. But she just read this and gave it 5 stars. Catching Feelings. That cover though, it's like the covers of the Done and Dusted series, but with like baseball. I'm really excited about all of these, and they don't fit in my TBR this month, and that's okay. I stopped at McDonald's on the way home and got myself a crispy Diet Coke. They just hit different. They're so good. I just need y'all to understand that this is indeed how I wake up in the morning. I woke up a little early today because I'm doing sprints for the people today. And I need to clean up a little bit before sprints. When I say clean up, that means I need to like clean up my house, but also like I need to clean this up. Right, kitten? Yeah. She's so adorable. I did not have a bad dream last night, which is an improvement over the last several nights. I had a dream the other night that I lived in this apartment. It wasn't the apartment that I live in right now, and I swear I've dreamt about this apartment before, but this was like a trauma dream because it was just like a dream where everyone kept touching my stuff. People that I didn't want in my apartment were there, and they just kept like touching and going through my things, and then somebody like turned the sink on and flooded my apartment, and nobody cared, and then people wanted to give me hugs, and I'm not really a hugger unless I know you really well. So that dream got on my nerves. And then I had a dream where this was like the second night. I had a dream where I was at some house, and for some reason I was stranded there. I couldn't leave. And so I was trying to get a hold of my best friend. And this is like so not my best friend. This was just whatever my brain was doing in its subconscious about my best friend. So I tried to call him and he wouldn't answer. And then I didn't text him. For some reason I emailed him. And I emailed him. It was like, hey, I'm stranded at this house. Can you come get me? And he sent me a letter that magically appeared at the house and was like, don't ever send an email to this address again. Like, what the heck? So I was pretty tired of having bad dreams. I look so awful. What is happening? So I was tired of bad dreams. And now I'm gonna go so that this doesn't give you bad dreams. My chaotic little setup for sprints. I'm not super hungry right now, so I'm just gonna have one of these little snack packs for like a snacky lunch. Diet Coke. So many books over here. These are the books I got at Barnes & Noble yesterday. Somebody let me borrow these 2 books. I don't know when I'm gonna get to them though. These are the 2 books I'm reading now. I need to put this book up in my planner. So my desk is a little bit chaotic today, but that's okay. Sprint time. Guys, I started this book and I'm so intrigued. To give you a little just like setup of the story, we are following a couple named Anna and Reed and their infant daughter Charlie, and they're like very middle class, don't really love where they live, don't really love their life circumstances, and they are chosen by this housing lottery to move into a very fancy apartment building. Kind of think Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. And they're selected to live in this very, very nice apartment that's like 25 floors up, which sounds amazing, except Anna is paralyzed from a very traumatic childbirth experience. And when they're touring the apartment, she's worried about like accessibility, and if there's an emergency, like what would happen with her getting out of the apartment. If the elevator doesn't work, how is she going to get down the stairs? But ultimately they do decide to move into this apartment, and you can just tell that like while things feel like they're going very well for Anna and Reed and Charlie, there's these little hints that not everything is going to be as good as it seems, especially the realtor, the broker, whoever it was that was showing them around the apartment. At the end of chapter 1, she does something so gross and so unsettling. I can't even say it here, but it is horrendous. Not something worthy of like a content warning. It's just gross. But I'm intrigued. I'm going to keep reading this. I'm going to go make some coffee though, but so intriguing. I fell asleep after sprints and my hair is like coming out of my braids left and right. So ignore the frizz. But an update on reading. During sprints, I got to page 58 of Nestlings. Still like low-key obsessed with that book right now. It's gonna have to like plummet somewhere for me to not like it. Like it's a 4 or a 5 for sure right now. I made it to page like 142 of City of Brass, which again, that's a different vlog. But let me like vent, complain, whine for a second. When I get a different rental, God willing, next summer, I so badly want a room to be like my book and reading room. And here's why. I have this living room, nice bright lighting all the time, right? And then I have my bedroom, which gets dark and cozy, but that's it. And I want like an in-between room where I can have it be dark and cozy, but my bed is not in there. Because also I feel so unsettled when I read in here with all of the light. This is definitely a me problem. A lot of this stems from the way I was as a kid. I felt like I could not read during the daytime. I feel like in the summertime, my mom would like sit me down in the afternoon and make me read in the afternoon. And I am like any other kid. I do not want to be made to do things. And so I would rebel and not want to read in the afternoon, and I wanted to read at nighttime. And I had this lovely Papazon reading chair in my room, and I would stay up till like 1, 2, 3 in the morning reading in my room because that's when I chose to read. And it was dark, and I like reading in the dark. But in my room, all I have is my bed, and I fall asleep when I read in there. So when I get my little at least 2-bedroom rental next year, we are speaking it into existence. I would love to be able to have a spot where I can read and it can be cozy. But yeah, does anybody else feel me there? I also just would really like a second room to like double with like a futon or something as a guest room, because I need a guest room, especially with like my family living, some of my family living out of town. My brother doesn't have a guest room anymore because they just had a baby. I would like to be able to host family when they come into town, because all I got is this couch. Look at the sun. See, the sun is lovely. And it's not that I don't ever get reading in here. I just feel like I can't fully be present with a book in the middle of my apartment. I want like a room to go to and to be cozy. This is such a me niche problem. I'm gonna go wash my hair because it feels like it needs to be washed. It also looks like it needs some help. And then try and settle down and read. This book is terrifying. I don't read much horror, so like take that with a grain of salt, but I am properly freaked out. Good afternoon, guys. I know we see the pile of laundry on my bed that I'm about to fold, but a few updates. I'm really hoping to finish Nestlings today. I don't know if y'all can hear. It is, oh, what is, that's cute. It is raining like a lot outside right now. And I have book club-ish meeting tonight. So one of my in-club book clubs started their first meetings in July of 2023, and it's our 1-year anniversary. And instead of doing like a book club meeting, we're just having like a party. And my best friend made some cookie butter dip last night for a game night that he ended up not going to, and he didn't want it to go to waste. So he was like, do you want to bring the cookie butter dip? So we're going to meet up in a little bit, and he's going to give me the cookie butter dip. But I'm going to fold those clothes while I listen to a little of City of Brass, and then I'm going to settle in with Nestlings. Y'all, I wanted so badly to read to part 3 before I fell asleep last night. I'm 1 chapter away from part 3. That book is nuts. And it's not like a you're being chased with knives horror at all. It is a very slow, very like frog in a boiling pot of water type book. Like it just creeps up on you, and then you're in it and you're like, holy cow, this book is terrifying. Big fan. Big. Sit down and read as much of Nestlings as I can before I leave for my party. And it's gonna be a good little spooky time. Die screaming. Hello guys, it is actually Monday evening. I've got my little Galaxy projector on, so if you're like, why the heck are there green spots on your face? That's what's going on. So it's Monday evening, and I did not finish Nestlings last night, but I did finish it today, which I'm about to talk about. But I was a little couch rat all day and did sprints looking like this because I was a couch rat all day. And then after sprints were over, I wasn't done with the book, and I was like, I'm just gonna finish this. So Nestlings, I finished it. The whole situation reminds me of Lock Every Door by Riley Sager, where we have this very like prestigious apartment that famous people live in, and it's got a little bit of lore and mystery that like kind of shrouds it. And after they move in, things start getting really weird. I want to say that this book is like Lock Every Door meets the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. Oh, there was another book that it really reminded me of as I was reading it, and I could not for the life of me tell you what it is now. Maybe a little bit of The Paris Apartment, which I know that might turn some people off because not many people liked that book, but just in like connections, I don't know. But this book was terrifying. I don't read a lot of horror. I'm a horror newbie. I enjoy almost every horror book I pick up. I'm just always so tentative to pick it up. Weird things start happening surrounding the baby, but this was like a conversation on grief. This was a conversation on motherhood. This was a conversation on disability, on speaking up for yourself, on letting go, on staying loose. And this is a book that I was annotating for my little traveling book club. And I mean, how satisfying is it to just see like all those colors and annotations and thoughts throughout this book. I had a really good time reading it, and that was just elevated because I had my friends' thoughts in here to read as well. So Melissa and Sarah, thank you for reading this first, and it's gonna get in the mail and go to Erin next. That is the end of this vlog. I didn't really do much this week, but that was kind of nice because y'all know I'm on like a month and a half of having something going on every night. The next vlog will be my last week of summer break, so that's really sad. If you watched all the way to the end of this video, why don't you leave me a bird emoji? They call their baby bird, and we kind of have this weird scary bird on the cover. One more thing I'll say about this book, if this had been a movie, I wouldn't have been able to finish it. As much as like I don't really read horror books, I don't do horror movies. So I can control how crazy my brain gets when I'm reading, and so that's why I could finish this book, but if I were watching it, I wouldn't, and I will never look at insects in the same way. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I love each and every one of you. I'm so grateful that you decide to spend your time watching my videos and supporting me. If you want to support me a little bit further, you can leave this video a thumbs up and make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss any bookish content from me. I do have all of my social media and my Patreon linked below, and I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you in another video soon. Bye guys.